Hi, and welcome back. And what a beautiful way to start a work week. I can remember teasing on Friday's programming that if you had a 3-day weekend, now would be a good time to cash it in. And oh, I've thought that most all of the morning and afternoon. We quickly saw temperatures hit the 70s, and some folks did a deep flirt with the 80-degree mark, and then some. Just a gorgeous day in the neighborhood. And your forecast is going to be filled with a few more of those, but a few bumps in the road and a few speed bumps, if you will. We've got a front coming that's going to give us a chance of some showers tomorrow. Temperatures will kind of fluctuate back and forth, but no more than 10 degrees, 15 at most for daytime highs. So pretty steady forecast. And now, of course, everyone has their sights set on the Easter weekend outlook. And we're getting close enough now to have an idea as to what to expect. I'll tell you about that in more detail in just a few moments. A judge in Johnson County earlier today issued a decision on a couple of motions brought before him in regards to the Sheriff Dwayne Price sexual harassment lawsuit filed on behalf of a former employee. We'll also talk about the second annual horse show that is being sponsored by some local volunteers. And I didn't realize last year when I read the announcement how big of a deal it was. And tonight we'll remind you about that and let you put that on your calendar, as it will be here in about a month's time. Also, some significant arrests and other information to pass along, including the shooting that happened in another part of eastern Kentucky. And a new week means a new calendar and much, much more. A few things have been signed into law at our state's capital. Several, actually, a few that I have selected to bring to you on tonight's program. Governor Bevin, recently signed into law a bill which requires the Finance and Administration Cabinet to promote and publicize opportunities for service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses to contract for goods and services. It was House Bill 161, sponsored by Representative D.J. Johnson of Owensboro, and it requires that state agencies also be provided with information on how to locate service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses. The measure takes another step toward ensuring Kentucky veterans' success when they return home from service. The Finance and Administration Cabinet is the primary support agency for state government and is specifically responsible for administrating the state's revenue. Supporting veteran-owned businesses has been an initiative strongly supported by the governor. And Governor Bevin has also signed into law measures that will remove unnecessary permitting regulations on Kentucky's coal industry. It's House Bill 234 that we've spoke of now for some time, sponsored by Representative Jim Gooch of Providence. It eliminates the permit requirement for all surface area over underground coal mines, relieving burdensome costs to the coal industry. Representative Gooch says that we all know the decimation Kentucky's coal industry has faced under the Obama administration, and with the new Trump administration in place, they are seeking real relief for coal country, and it's imperative that our state's government follows suit. And this measure, he says, will reprieve coal companies of unnecessary costs and help in our efforts to get our coal miners back to work. Current law puts Kentucky in excess over and above federal requirements for surface area permitting. House Bill 234 modernizes the statutes to be more in line with other coal-producing states. And since the beginning of the new federal administration, Kentucky has seen several coal mines reopen, getting a multitude of unemployed miners back to work. House Bill 234 swiftly passed the House and Senate in a bipartisan manner. Judge John David Preston, just earlier this morning in court in Johnson County, issued a ruling on a few motions, I guess technically before him, in regards to the sexual harassment suit filed against what was the Johnson County Physical Court and still is Sheriff Dwayne Price of Johnson County by a former employee that we've identified in earlier reports as Joyce Estep, who claimed retaliation for not accepting sexual advances on behalf of the sheriff. Today, Preston addressed several motions before him, including a motion to dismiss the case altogether. Just earlier today, Circuit Judge John David Preston issued the following ruling in regards to a request by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, specifically Sheriff Price, to have the sexual harassment case against him dismissed, as well as some other requests, also including an acknowledgement last week that I reported to you in which the plaintiff, Joyce Estep's attorney, had already said that his client, Estep, was agreeable to the fact that the Johnson County Fiscal Court should be dismissed from the lawsuit because they indeed were not her employer at the time of the complaints. with Preston acknowledging today in his ruling that ESTEP's attorney had filed a motion to amend their complaint to name just the Johnson County Sheriff's Department as a defendant. However, it had not been filed as of this morning, but it was expected to be. And at that time, the complaint would be amended to remove the Johnson County Fiscal Court from the suit. In regards to the retaliation claim by ESTEP against the sheriff, Preston noted today that ESTEP claims that she was terminated by the sheriff or forced to resign her employment because she declined his sexual advances. However, he says records do confirm that she did plead guilty to a felony charge on August the 5th of last year, after which she was sentenced to pretrial diversion, and in connection with that plea, she admitted the allegations in the indictment and that she had stolen money from the sheriff's department, admitting under oath that she committed the felony theft charge in the indictment when she stole more than $900 from the property tax fund from the sheriff's department. And in lieu of that guilty plea, as a matter of law, Price is entitled to have count 2 of the complaint dismissed pertaining to retaliation. Preston says the court, however, is also of the opinion that the plaintiff has stated sufficient facts to constitute a claim of sexual harassment, and that there are factual issues raised in the complaint which preclude dismissal at this point, because it is apparent to the court that the record has not been sufficiently developed for the court to determine when the allegations alleged in her complaint allegedly took place. Further development of the case is going to be necessary before the court is able to address that particular issue of dismissing the sexual harassment claim any further. So this is what he ordered: that ESTEP can amend her complaint to dismiss the Johnson County Fiscal Court, and that Sheriff Price's motion to dismiss count 2 of the plaintiff's claim for retaliation is granted and dismissed with prejudice, and that Price's motion to dismiss the sexual harassment claim under count 1 of the complaint is denied. And he notes in the final condition that there being further issues for the court to resolve, this is not a final and appealable judgment at this time.
I'll be right back after a quick break.
It's definitely the chili, that homemade, from scratch hot dog chili smothering every inch of our famous footlong that makes it a one-of-a-kind taste. The only thing that can make it better is to get one for only $2.49 on Mondays and just $1.99 after 4 o'clock. Get our famous footlong with homemade chili any day of the week and get one for cheap on Mondays, only at your Sagersville Lee's.
Details have been slowly emerging throughout the morning and afternoon in regards to a fatal shooting in Round County early today. Around 12:24 this morning, the Kentucky State Police from Post 8 out of Moorhead says they got a call about information regarding a shooting on Leaning Tree Way in Round County. And upon further investigation, it was determined that an altercation had occurred between a 40-year-old man from Ashland and a 42-year-old man from Round County.
That specifically is 40-year-old Randy Parmley and 42-year-old Kenneth Fulton, who got in the altercation at Fulton's home, where Fulton was shot by Parmley, says the state police. He was taken to the St. Clair Regional Medical Center, where he passed away from his injuries just a short time later. He was pronounced dead at around 1:15 this morning. Meanwhile, just moments later, Parmley reportedly turned himself in to authorities at the Kentucky State Police Post. They've charged the 40-year-old man from Ashland with murder after he reportedly went to the home of Fulton to confront his wife about being there and being with the other man. The two men began to fight. They got into an altercation, and Parmley reportedly shot Fulton 2 different times, with Parmley claiming it was self-defense. He did show up once again just moments later after the shooting took place, turning himself in to authorities, and has since been jailed on the murder charge.
I started to say that I can recall, but that might be an overstatement. I can say pretty confidently that when I read this announcement last year, I didn't have a good understanding as to just how big of a horse show indeed it was. The Sagersville Fire Department has put together their 2nd annual horse show, a fundraiser, of course, trying to replace lost funds from various sources. We all understand the economy, and that's nothing new to anyone. What it might be new to you if you're not an equestrian and you're not familiar with horses to a great degree, except for just maybe having a love of the animals, is that this is going to be a pointed horse show that's coming to Sagersville, and one of about 3 dozen or so for the Kentucky Mountain Saddle Horse Association and the Spotted Mountain Horse Association, who together are sponsoring the KBIF Pointed Show, who is in turn being hosted, or is being hosted, by the Sagersville Fire Department here in Sagersville at the Equestrian Park. Over 30 classes, 37 classes, and if it is anything like it was last year, on which they are hoping to build, Fire Chief Paul Howard says it's going to be a great evening for very little money.
We started a horse show, a points race horse show, which brings in some of the finest horses in Kentucky. Actually, last year we had 85 horses here. We had some of them as the owners as far away as Philadelphia was here watching this horse show with their horses that they own, that they stable in the local stables. We have 33 classes that we sponsor and 4 championship classes. The horses that participate here participates all over the state of Kentucky, and at the end of the year they have a championship of how many places they won at to determine what they get from the organization.
And Howard is quick to point out that while horses are expected to come from all over the state of Kentucky, he's hopeful to encourage some more local horse owners to come out and be a part of the show. And he's also quick to point out that there's not much else you could do and have this much fun, be outside, maybe be around horses or friends for just $5 for the entire evening.
We only charge $5 per head for a person that comes to watch the show. You have to bring your own seating. We have some bleacher seating here, but you can sit anywhere around the ring that you prefer. Just bring your own seating. Like I said, $5 per person, and come see some of the prettiest horses that you'll be able to see in the whole United States.
Plus, Howard says the show boasts concessions, soup beans and hot dogs and nachos and things, clean facilities for everyone, a great location, and one of the best horse shows once again in the area. And once again, for just $5 a person.
Saturday afternoon, May 13th, we open the gates at 2 o'clock. Come and socialize with your friends and neighbors and support. Help pay for some of the equipment that you see the Sagersville Fire Department's got up there. Your donations and your time help pays for that.
We'll remind you of the show as it gets a bit closer. Go ahead and mark it down in your calendar now, and I'll be right back in just a moment.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
All right, ladies and gents, here's what's happening on your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. A new week, a new calendar, maybe a reminder or two, I'm not even sure. Let's go through it together and find out. Kindergarten registration started today at South McGoffin Elementary. Goes for the next 2 weeks, so contact the school anytime during school hours or call 884-7325. That's right. Kindergarten registration underway for the next school year. Get yourself a jump on registration and your child a jump start on their education at South McGoffin Elementary. From our friends at the Open Door at the St. Luke Catholic Church, they've got hours set and some new things coming. The Open Door has been serving the community for a long, long time with all sorts of very reasonably priced, and that's putting it very mildly. Good, clean, used clothing for infants and children and women and men, and some household items. And they are open on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week from 9 to 1, and Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 until 5, and on the weekend on Saturdays from 10 until 4. And starting in just a few days, this weekend, I think, as a matter of fact, they're going to have refurbished or reworked microwaves, fans, small appliances, hand tools, and much more at the Open Door. And it started last night and continues throughout the week. It's Holy Week Revival at the Prater United Methodist Church here in downtown Sayersville. Special guest every night, Pastor Aaron Mansfield tonight, Seth Sparks tomorrow night, Pastor Mike Adams the following, and the list goes on. They hope that you'll join them each night. Services begin at 7, and they have a prayer service on this Good Friday. All services held at the church across from Fraser's Prater Drugstore on Church Street in Sayersville. And, of course, with the Easter holiday nearly here, church services are being held, special services throughout. And the Stinson United Baptist Church is also having special services, evening services, starting this Wednesday through Saturday night, 7 o'clock nightly, with communion and foot washing this Wednesday night. They'll have their special Easter sunrise service Sunday morning at 7, with breakfast at the Fellowship Hall following, and then, of course, followed by their 11 o'clock service Sunday morning as well. Several guest ministers, and this special invitation comes to you by Pastor Joe E. Carroll. And a reminder, I've announced it when they first made the arrangements, and I'll kind of throw it in every now and then to keep it in the back of your mind, or the front, wherever you want to put it. The Sayersville High School all-class reunion, that's for anyone who went to the Sayersville High School any years or year at any time, for any time, is May the 27th, 3 to 10:30. Yeah, they make a doozy out of it at North McGoffin Elementary. They had their first one last year to a phenomenal success. They'll have a big dinner, a DJ, dress is casual, and it's free. If you have any questions, classmates, any classmates at the Sayersville High School, there's the numbers on the bottom of your screen, 349-4441 and 349-2385. And for announcements, including birthdays and anniversaries too, mail, email, Facebook, phone, fax, drop them off here at the studio. Any way you can get them to me, I'll get them on the news and tell everyone about them. And turning to funeral service announcements provided by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, we begin with 92-year-old Mary Genus Whitaker Barker Bailey of Michigan, who passed away on the 7th, formerly of McGoffin County. She's survived by sons Kenny, Bobby, and Calvin Barker. Visitation will be after 6 o'clock tomorrow night, all day Wednesday, and prior to services Thursday morning at 11 from the Sayersville Funeral Home. 65-year-old Harold Clyde Williams of McGoffin County passed away on the 9th, the son of the late Fred and Maud Blanton Williams. He's survived by brothers Johnny and Scotty and sister Edith Wright. Services, also surviving a special friend, Malia. Visitation will begin at 11 o'clock this Saturday, and services will start that afternoon at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And lastly, this Monday, 92-year-old Norman Miller of West Van Leer passed away on the 8th, survived by his wife, Gwen McKenzie, as well as daughters Carol Smith, Ramona Hunter, and Alana Agard. Visitation is this evening, tomorrow, and then before services on Wednesday that start at 2, all from the Jones and Preston Funeral Home in Paintsville, with burial afterwards at the Highland Memorial Park at Staffordsville. And with that, and with a headline or two, actually at least one, that will hold off until tomorrow, hoping to gather a few more details and some other things we're already working on, I'll go ahead and switch on over to your Licking Valley RACC Outlook at this hour to find out what's happening outside and what it's looking like for your Easter weekend. Well, tonight, what a way to end it. I clocked. And at the end of the early show at 6:30, I am still hanging on to 86 degrees here out front of the studio and just a little bit of cloud cover. So that's not in the sun right now. Gorgeous outside. A low of 58 tonight, mostly clear. Winds still coming out of the southwest, 8 to 18 mile per hour gust. Right now I've got one from the southwest around 4 miles per hour, 12 a few moments ago. Nevertheless, after a somewhat breezy but nice Monday, where did that come from? On to your Tuesday, as I'm trying to allude to. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood for at least the majority of it, I think, or a good portion of it. Right now, the timeline before this front rolls through and gives us a chance of some showers appears to be like this. I think we'll see partly sunny skies tomorrow and a chance of showers to the tune of 30%, not until after about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Now, that does increase to a 60% chance during the overnight hours with some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms possible. With that, a low of 53 tomorrow night. Winds, once again, out of the west, but only around 3 to 6, unless you see some thunderstorm activity. That's going to be a much milder note wind-wise, but with some showers that will give us, of course, some cloudy, wet conditions just for the overnight. Wednesday, I think by 7 or 8, really, maybe 9, they will be gone. And then skies will become sunny from cloudy. And that front will be out of here, leaving us with 70 degrees and 47 for your high and low midweek, and clear skies by the afternoon or early evening, and rolling right on through Wednesday night. Thursday, gorgeous, 75, mostly sunny. A few clouds that night, and say after 9 or 10 Thursday, we'll work in a 20% chance of showers. And that instability, a little bit of it, if you will continue for the rest of your work week. Friday, 75 and 56 for your high and low, partly sunny skies. Can't shake a 30% chance of showers Friday, nor can we on Saturday, the first half of the weekend. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny and 77. Right now for your Easter Sunday, temperatures looking to be in the 70s, and only a slight chance of some showers that we'll be monitoring throughout the rest of your week.
That's one down, 4 more to go just for this week. We hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more exclusive news and coverage on Your News Today. Enjoy a beautiful, beautiful Monday evening, and thank you for watching.